I want to address some educational issues. I don't know how many of you listened to well, I don't know if it was carried live when we gave out the $500. I don't think it was carried live. The $500 for the students at the community college. Remember, the beneficiaries are the CSEC students and the A-level students. If you have 5 CXEs with English and math, you get $500. If you have 2 A-levels plus communication studies, you get $500 in the exam which you just took. In the first year, in 2005, when I instituted this program, we did it only for CSEC, not for A-levels. But from 2006, we did it for A-levels, but when we start doing it for A-levels, we said to the student at CSEC, it's not just 5 subjects including English. You have to do 5 subjects including English and maths. So between 2005 and 2014, that's 10 years. 5,127 beneficiaries and $2.6 million. A lot of money. Simple as you see that, without a sweat, is $2.6 million in the 10 years. This year alone is $305,000 for the 610 students, which is the most students in any one year. Slightly more than last year. So, you know, you can make judgments about different governments. The opposition says that they will pay for all the subjects which students are taking. They say they'll pay for all. The problem with this is what happens in Jamaica. That the school will sign you up for 7 subjects. You'll get paid for all 7. You'll pay the examiner. The state will pay the examiner. But you only intend to take 4. So you pay for subjects which you don't intend to take. And it doesn't matter the student, it doesn't matter the teachers. So they waste a lot of money. But there are students who genuinely don't find, the parents find it difficult to pay for their subjects. And it's 2 sources which we satisfy that from. One, we put aside money under social development and at lottery. So that there is no student who wants to write exams who do not get the money. Once you're indigent and you don't have it, poor, you get it either through the social development, social welfare, you get it through lottery. And it's the teachers who send in and say, well, Mary Jones and Tom Brown, they're writing 5, 6 subjects, they can't afford it to pay for the, and it's done. Please tell me, isn't that a better way to do it in a targeted manner than to pay for everybody? To pay for Ralph Child and Hans Child and Doggy Child, who could afford Well, I call you because Kenton ain't got any yet. If Kenton had, I would have said Kenton. And if Kenton had, he only just gone to the wicket. They're not yet reaching the age to write CXC. I mean, he's 16 years away from that. You know what I mean? I'm choosing the right name, Dougie, so don't tell me. Eh? No. So that is the... So we give you, we take care of the poor. In fact, a lot of these students already are on public assistance, which incidentally the NDP said they will reduce. I mean, they're a confused set of people, really schizophrenic in their public policies. And then we inculcate in the students the idea that if you perform, there is an incentive for performance. It's an important lesson in life. And they can use this $500 for all sorts of things relating to their education when they get it. Now, the second educational matter which I want to just remind you about. We gave this year 20 national scholarships, exhibitions, and bursaries. 11 scholarships, national scholarships, 3 national exhibitions, and 6 bursaries. The total package for that, I want the people of this country to know, is $5 million. Because the 11 national scholarships, they're 5 years. That's 55 years worth of education. Those which are 3 national scholarships, national exhibitions, sorry, those are 3 years. There are 3 of them. That's 9 years payment. And of course, there are 6 bursaries. Those are 18 years at $20,000 for each of those years. That's in addition to the fact that we pay the economic costs, which in most of the programs is in the region of $20,000. Law is a little higher, medicine 30 little bit. So this alone is $5 million. No. You can say that Ralph should take the money, as Eustace has said in 2002, and give people road work. Well, for Christmas, but I'm giving $3 million worth of road work in the country generally, and 500,000 specifically in town. That's $3.5 million. In his last year, when he was here in 2000, he budgeted for 300,000, you know. I am more than 10 times his. And they only spend 200,000. So I'm taking care of people with the road work. And I'm taking care, very importantly, of their children and grandchildren to make something of themselves, to develop their God-given talents, to take themselves out of poverty or vulnerability and lift them for life. Not only for St. Vincent, but they can go to the region and they can go globally. That's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. And the public know that. And every single household in this country has been touched positively by the education revolution. Every single one. Then, last night right here, I had the president of the Fort Valley State University, the Guyanese. I learned that he was going to be in Barbados at the community college in Barbados to do a memorandum of understanding. This is a school, a small university in Georgia. And I called him, I said, but you have to come to St. Vincent. You have to make an umbilical link with our community college. So I had here last night with me the chief education officer. I had two persons specifically from the accreditation board. I had Mrs. Laura Brown, the acting director of the community college, and Mr. Nigel Scott, deputy director. And we explored a lot of issues. And they will be sending a draft from Fort Valley State University. They'll be sending a draft memorandum of understanding, which we'll work on so that, for instance, there's several exciting programs at this small university. One of them, for instance, is the the 4-year degree program for veterinary technology. You know, in the United States, a degree as a doctor of veterinary medicine, you have to have another degree before. Now, we are looking at a possibility, say, for this. Other programs too, that we can do 2 years here in veterinary technology and do 2 years in Georgia. We cut the cost of the program considerably. And one of the things which we need to do in the area of the veterinary sciences, one of the problems in St. Vincent, historically, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and all the Caribbean countries, we have found it very difficult to break away from this colonial inheritance in relation to the veterinary services. The veterinary services in this country, as in other Caribbean countries, English-speaking Caribbean countries, are preoccupied with regulation and health of the animals which are in existence. They do not have as their focus production of animals. The animals which are here, we try to keep them healthy and we regulate to make sure that certain kind of animals don't come in without the necessary certification and so on. And all that is good. But it has everything that we do in these matters must be linked to living and production. And that is a dimension which is missing. So we need to have more quality goats, more quality sheep, more quality cattle, beef and dairy. I'm not knocking our hard-working veterinary doctors here, you know. I'm just saying it's the way, and this is not just in Vincent alone, in a lot of countries, well, all the countries that I know, but we need to link this thing positively with production. The president brought me a soap made of goat milk and grapefruit. I use it to bathe with this morning. So this is one more. And when I said that we want to be, by the way, I have written off already to Professor Barito, who is the principal of the Open Campus. And I want to, and I've sent a letter also to the Vice Chancellor, because I want the discussion to be going fast before the Vice Chancellor demits, this current Vice Chancellor, in May next year. And I've spoken to Professor Hilary Beckles, who's the incoming Vice Chancellor, on the same matter last week on the phone for quite a while. That we want as a matter of policy to have our community college being a college of the University of the West Indies, but we want to maintain the flexibility that we can do arrangements with places like the Fort Valley State University and other places where we have niches to satisfy us, where the University of the West Indies may be too cumbersome or lacking in that particular area of discipline, and to build this for our people. I mean, we do this thing really for the love of people, you know. That's why we do it. Well, I certainly, that's what I do it. And I will do my best, so long as I have health and strength.